Some people have had a very rough life, a very difficult life, a very traumatic childhood where there was abuse and mistreatment and sometimes maybe neglect. And they have taken this pain and buried it deep in their heart and are now using it to cause pain in other people's lives because they haven't sought healing, they haven't sought restoration for their souls, and therefore they carry that pain and anger around wherever they go, and they carry it into every relationship that they get into, crushing people's hearts, breaking hearts, causing other people to be in as much pain as they are in, because that's just how they show up in the world. They don't know how to be anything else apart from hurtful and vengeful and hateful. But don't get me wrong, they're also able to be very charming and to have charisma, and this can deceive many people to think that they are ordinary, just like you. They smile like you, they laugh like you, they relate with others just like you would, and so you wouldn't suspect it unless you're keen, unless you watch out for the slip of the tongues, unless you watch out for the slip of behavior, unless you watch out and do not give any excuses and do not allow any excuse for bad behavior and for talk and speech that is disrespectful, that is evil, anything that makes you feel like you are treated wrong, that you are spoken to in a way that was unworthy, in a way that was dishonoring. When you pay attention to these things, you'll be able to detect people that have chosen the path of hate and revenge, and they developed a stone cold heart. They're not able to relate with other people with intimacy. For them, relationships are very transactional. It's about what they get. It's like a game to them. They can give this, but they know they have to get more. And sometimes they can be in love and smitten, maybe by your good looks or by something about you that they find very attractive. But that should not be what you use to judge their character. Once the honeymoon stage is over and they're back to their real self, their real character emerges, and who they really are will be what you'll be relating with. That's why it's not good to be in a relationship because of your feelings or because of someone's charisma or someone's charm, because all of this pass, the feelings pass, the charisma and the charm eventually will not matter in the relationship. What matters is the value system of the person that you're relating with. What matters is their heart. Do they have a loving heart, or do they have a stone cold heart that cannot relate with another human being? Some people have no capacity for intimacy at all. They relate with somebody in a mental way. They relate with someone in a way that is transactional. They relate with somebody in a relationship as if they're relating with somebody in a business partnership, and they don't know how to have a soft heart. They don't know how to open their heart. They don't know how to relate with their heart. And it's better to know this before you get in too deep into a relationship and end up empty-handed and end up relating with someone that has no feelings. Someone that has no feelings will hurt you and feel nothing at all. Someone that has no feelings, that has no love in their heart, will not have any remorse after they have hurt you, will not take any responsibility for any bad behavior done presently or in the past. When you try to get some information about what happened in their past relationship and why maybe they broke up with their ex or exes, and you realize that there was some bad behavior from this person, and when you try to talk about it, you will realize that there is no remorse, that there is no taking up of any form of responsibility. They fully blame the other person all the time and justify their bad behavior. This means that this behavior shall definitely take place again. They will get to the place where they snap in the exact same way and then blame everybody else or blame the partner, and then go ahead and behave badly because they feel justified, because they go into their own self-centered behavior when they feel a certain way and they feel justified, and they have no empathy for the other person. They don't care what the other person feels. And when you see this and you see a pattern of this in someone that you are trying to have a relationship or friendship with, that the person never takes responsibility, the person feels justified for their bad behavior, the person blames everybody else, the person has no empathy and no remorse, be sure that you will be the next one in line. You'll be the next one to be hurt because you're relating with somebody who has a cold heart. Their heart is not warm and their heart is not loving. Not everyone that says I love you knows what they are saying. Not everyone that calls you honey and baby knows what that even means. Some people do it because it's a culture. Everyone does it. Some people say I love you because of what they want from you. This world has very many different kinds of people. Some people are hard and cold, but you wouldn't know it unless you're sensitive, unless you're keen, unless you're listening keenly to everything being said, to everything coming out of their mouths and giving no excuse for anything, unless you're watching how they treat other people, not how they treat you in the beginning. Anybody would treat anyone perfectly in the beginning. Later on is when you see whether what they were doing in the beginning was out of their real value system, out of their character, or just because they were smitten by you, or just because they were trying to get something out of you. This information comes later. But in the beginning, you can tell from how they treat other people and how they talk about other people. And women especially are very sensitive. We have a sense that God gave us, and you're able to pick something in your soul that your eyes haven't seen yet. The only problem is that we ignore that sense. We let somebody else talk us out of what we are picking up on. We go and ask somebody else for advice, and that person is not in this relationship and they haven't picked up on what you're picking up on. You picked up on it because it was you who's relating with this person. When you go ask your girlfriend for advice about something that you picked up and she talks you out of it, in the end you'll be the one to suffer. And you will say, I knew it, I sensed it, I had a feeling, but you didn't listen to your own instincts. You didn't honor yourself. You didn't honor what you felt. You honored somebody else's opinion. Let's not do this to ourselves. Whatever you pick up on, whatever you feel, whatever you sense, when something doesn't feel right, hold back. Don't move forward. First, draw back and get all the information that you need only move forward when your heart is clear, when you feel safe, when you're confident, when you know that you have gotten all the information that you need to get from wherever it is that you need to get it, because this is your life. When you're heartbroken, it is you who will take the length of time that you need to take to heal. When something in your heart is destroyed, it is you who needs to take the time to get restoration again for your soul, for your heart. So be careful. Don't relate with people just because you want to relate with someone, just because it's been long and you need somebody in your life, or just because you feel lonely, or just because it's convenient, or just because someone chose you. Someone could have chosen you, but you didn't choose them. You only relate when they choose you and you choose them too. It's not automatic that when someone chooses you that you relate with them. No. You also do your assessment and then you decide whether you want to relate with this kind of a person, either in a romantic relationship or in a friendship. Because even friendships can be very hurtful and very painful if you don't assess who you're getting into a friendship with beforehand. And hearts have been broken in friendships and in relationships only because of not doing the homework first. Before you relate, check out someone's heart. Find out if they have a warm, loving heart. Do they love other people? Do they treat other people with respect? Do they speak about their exes with respect? Or do they tear them down in your presence and not take any responsibility for anything, but blame all their exes? It's only them that is perfect, and all their exes are horrible. That tells you something about that person. That tells you that they will never take responsibility, even when things do not go right with you. So check someone's character, check someone's value system before you decide to engage with them, before you get in too deep, before your feelings get involved, before you are in something that you don't know how to get out of, and you will need to talk to yourself for a long time before you can get out of it. Before you get yourself into such a situation, check everything and make no excuses and honor your instincts.